Hello there and welcome back. Today we talk about the Hologram Chroma Console. I kinda slept on this one because it came out several months ago, but Hologram reached out, they sent me one unit to test, and I have to say, it's really beautiful. I will do some patch from scratch using my trusty performer. For the in-depth demo and review, go on my Patreon. In fact, from now on, I will delegate my Patreon for all the more in-depth things, all the tutorial. So if you want to support me and learn, you can go there. And since we are here, a few other ways you can support. Buy from the affiliate link, share this content, subscribe to this channel. You know, if you want me to keep doing this, do your part. Anyway, what is the Chroma Console? So in the idea of Hologram, they created a pedal that gather all those kind of artifacts that using older equipment will give to your sound. So let's say a cassette tape, 4-track cassette tape, bucket brigades delayed, or some other old console. So basically it's a way to sweeten up your sound, to spice it up and add all of the things that, you know, make your music sometimes beautiful, nostalgic, retro, whatever you want to call it. This pedal gathers 4 different channels of effects that you can configure and move around, and each channel has different algorithms. So you have character that actually had the harmonics, I would say, the movement that, as it say, had movement, tremolo, vibrato, diffusion, that is the one that acts as delay or reverb, and texture, that is the one that can add like the cassette, the noisy part, the destroyed part of an old school sound. The cool things is that it also allows you to record motion very simply. You can rearrange the order of your sound. You have a looper and 80%. So it's pretty simple. Of course, it's one of those pedals that fall in this new long list of pedals that grab your sound, clean, digital, whatever, and make it dirty, make it old school, make it ruined. I guess we are in a generation that love that kind of sound because maybe we got so used to the computer that these kind of things seems really alluring to us. So in my opinion, what you just hear was heavily distorted, heavily ruined. So I won't go that direction, but it was just like a quick way to show you. I take a song that I actually recorded before and I put it through it and say, okay, this is how it would sound through a very baked and burned cassette. Anyway, let's listen what was with and without. So this is the clean sound. And this is with the Chroma Console. Instantly, you have to say that it's beautiful. It adds all the small nuance, not just small, that makes you feel like, I'm in heaven, I'm in tape heaven. So, if I turn off each of the section, I'll tell you what I did. So, I had that character, and you see by the color of it is the sweeten, that is a sort of easy EQ and preamp that make your sound more or less dark and round. Then I added movement, and I'm using the doubler. Then I have the reels, which is a tape delay. And at the end, I have cassette. Each of the effects has a way to deal in the amount of the effect. And then it has another set of controls, the top one that does different things related to the effect. And you can press combination of this button to enter secondary mode that will add another layer of controls. There's not a lot of menu diving. Actually, very simple because everything you can do, it's written here. So for example, if I want to go to the gesture control, which is something that I can record in real time, I press these two. Now I'm gesture control, and I can move these. Actually, no, that was the second. See, sorry. This is gesture. As you can see, press these two buttons. Now I'm in gesture. It becomes red when I record the stuff. And then I come out, and now I have this loop of control that will keep going on and on. If I want to delete it, I just press it like that. So, more on that on my full demo on Patreon, so you will learn the ins and outs. You also have a very handy mix control, so you can work in parallel, which is really good because, for example, you have this, and you just want to add a little bit. Now, we are working on a full mix, but let's change and let's get some other, let's see what I have. So let's create something from scratch. I would go on the preset page. I will pick an empty preset, and now I can bring in. So let's listen. Mix 100%. This is drive. I really like the sweeten. This is the fuzz. Howl. And swell, that is works with the envelope. Let's go sweeten, I really like. Let's add here this doubler. I'm adding some tremolo. Now diffusion. I have a tap tempo. Nice. And let's add some texture. We can filter. We can add a squash that is a very strong compressor. Nice. So from here, now we have a very nice and characterful sound. Again, I'm using it on the full mix of the performer. But sometimes it's what you need, because maybe you are using a simple synth like this one. And the moment you start adding these, things change. So now you have something that it's not too destructive, but definitely give that analog vibe. And let's say I want to reorder the effects. I go here in Effects Setup. And now I can reorder the effects. I wish I can hear what's happening. This is the only time where the sound is cut. So let's now, for example, say first go into the cassette, then you go into drive, then you go into doubler, and then in the diffusion. Pretty nice. wanted some cassette tape emulation. Some vibrato, had nice vibe. Let's say I want to move things around. Let's go in the gesture, and I will add the space. I also moved the amount of vibrato. And now, as you can hear, I have something that is ever-changing. Now, one thing that I really like to do with it, it's actually work with chords. So let me bring some chord. Hey, stop. So I have something saved here. I like to put my Vermona all-in-one MIDI channel. So now, whenever I will trigger, and I like to spread my voice. So I have chord saved in my Oxy. And from now, I like to build something that make my chord move. So again, let's pick an empty preset. And let's now start adding things. I really like this suite. Add some vibrato here, very slow. And now diffusion. Collage. I want to stay with space. I think it's good for this one. Now texture. So I will automate this one. Let's listen before. And now let's listen with. Very nice. Beautiful. So let's now do this. Let's use the secondary function to add some drift. Beautiful. Let's get out of it. Let's now use the gesture. And let's add the broken here and there. You can see by the light when it comes in and out. This is without. This is with. Now, if I want to save, I press this. Now I'm in this pattern here, and I will save it. So, another cool thing, I have now I recorded in the capture. So if I want to play on top, I can pick one of these. So, the simplicity of use of the Chroma Console makes it a really good weapon for your sound design needs. I think with this kind of product you really need to be classy and not overuse it, as I mentioned many times. But this allows you to go in many different directions, just warm it up your sound a tiny bit, add a lot of distortion, a lot of warbliness, whatever you need. But I also feel that the mix knob really helps you to go a tiny bit and add that touch of sound, of texture that I need. So yes, that's about it for today. I'll see you on my Patreon for going through all of it and additional thought. Otherwise, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next week.